Hey, welcome to the Mobility Show. So today we are doing something slightly different. We are venturing out of the studio, first of all, and we are today at a very nice location here in Barcelona. And let's see what's going on. We've had lots of conversations about AI and aviation and the theoretical information that we have been talking about. So I think it's time to go out and look at things in action. Today we have our friend of our podcast, Jacob Salfranc, here at the drone center, and he is testing his first iteration of his drone, Maiden Fly. So the drone can actually drive on the ground. So it's a delivery drone, it's a logistics idea. So it can drive on the ground and it can fly, vertically take off, transition to your normal flight, and deliver to destination, pick up new stuff from the destination, and go to the next destination. Very, very cool idea. I'm really happy about it. Hey, welcome back to the studio, Jacob. So we had some interesting times. So let's start. Super interesting. Let's start with welcoming Nadia back as well, because she was not, unfortunately, in Barcelona when we
Happy
did.
to join from Manchester, yes.
Hey, Nadia.
So Nadia, we did some excellent testing. I got to play with the vehicle as well. So Jacob was kind enough to invite us to his maiden flight of his prototype that he is testing. Would we call it a prototype, or would we call it more of a proof of concept, Jacob?
It's in fact a proof of concept, or you could even say a tech demonstrator or concept demonstrator. Essentially, we didn't invent the concept of a drone, right? It was an existing drone model. But what we did do, together with the Barcelona Drone Center, which is Europe's oldest drone manufacturers, or one of Europe's oldest drone manufacturers already since the 90s, they have developed a custom-made rover with 360 degrees turning wheels that they mounted underneath the chassis of the drone. And therefore now you have a rover that can do a lot of ground mobility, and it also then can convert into the flying mode. Furthermore, we also have a cargo container that has the battery. So you have to plug that in from the bottom into the drone, then connect the battery to the drone, and only then it will work. And then also we have a small, let's say, cargo compartment in that container. So it really mimics everything that we intend to do with the big drone on a much smaller scale. But it doesn't fly autonomously or drive autonomously. It's much more a demonstrator to show the value proposition.
Absolutely. I think that was the fun part. I get to play with that as well. And I have to admit that this is the toy that I want, man. I mean, where can I get one? Something that
You
can
know exactly
drive.
where.
Yeah, no, everyone wanted it, right? There's something that can really drive and then also fly. That was the concept of a Grasshopper, right? And I think you nailed it on the head. So let's play that clip first of all and show how we did some of the testing in that hangar area, and then we'll come back.
The rover is detachable from the vehicle, so both vehicles can function separately if needed. That means that it's rapidly serviceable. If the rover has a problem on one landing and you need to substitute the rover, it's just 4 screws or 2? 4, I think. 4 screws and you get the rover out. It ended up weighing how much? 500? More or less. Around half a kilogram is the rover. The vehicle is 9 kilograms with the payload takeoff weight. And yeah, without it, it's 8 kilograms, right? Yeah. All the electronics are housed in this box here. This 3D printed black box, even the GPS. It's risen up to avoid interferences, but it goes down with the rover. We have 2 antennas sticking out. One antenna is for telemetry data transmission. The other antenna is for manual control transmission. So the RC signals go through this antenna. Telemetry data goes to this antenna. These 2 antennas then connect to the flight controller. These 2 antennas connect here and transmit data from the ground to the flight controller that controls the 4 motors from the rover. The long antenna that you see, it goes to this telemetry module that you see here vertically mounted, and the GPS for the rover. The flight controller then controls the 4 independent motors that we have mounted directly on wheels. The rotors are mounted in the inner part of the landing gear. The wheel is mounted on the outer part, so it's more or less balanced on the center of the landing gear. The wheel is attached with a steel axle to the motor, passing through the landing gear. The motor does not support the weight of the wheel, but the landing gear does pull this axle that goes in the middle. So the motor is free of that load, ensuring a long lifespan of the motor. 4 independent motors have their signals, height cables and power cables going through the legs to the flight controller and the pound distribution circuit. And yeah, the independent control allows you to turn them in any direction, allowing for forward motion when all 4 of them move forward, or backward motion, rotating on its vertical axis or rotating on the spot if they turn in opposite directions, and going sideways without having to turn and face sideways, so having better maneuverability for tight spaces, using the clever design that these wheels have. They are not only traditional wheels, but omnidirectional wheels with these rollers. When you rotate, for example, this one inwards and the other one inwards, this one out and the other one out, what you're making is that these ones are working one against each other, these ones are working one against each other, but because of the rollers that are free to roll, they can move sideways. They cancel this movement and leave only this one.
So you've made a drone that can do a tank turn, huh?
Yes.
That's fantastic. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
This battery also powers the flying part of this vehicle, which has a multi-rotor configuration for vertical takeoff and landing, so you don't need a runway. And then it has a fixed wing structure for better flight efficiency, longer flight times, longer flight distances. You still get your VTOL and your rover separately, but together it is quite a complete vehicle. Can do lots of for different mission profiles. We have the flight controller for the VTOL, which is this cube orange. Has all the connections to more sensors than the rover. It has a PICO tube that the tube goes inside the wing down to here, to the wingtip, to measure airspeed. It also has a GPS module, and the telemetry to communicate data is housed behind here.
This is standard, right? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
These are standard commercially available components. It also has an RC manual control link that are those 2 antennas and this tiny receiver here and a GPS. It uses the same GPS, but the telemetry and RC are of closer range for the rover and longer range for the VTOL. Both flight controllers have a current sensor and voltage sensor to measure the status of the battery from both vehicles, to be able to really have a sense of the battery health.
Here we have
The 2 controllers,
yeah.
one for the rover and one for the VTOL.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Amazing. Yeah, let's do some driving.
So, welcome back. So, how that was. This was really interesting, right? So, let's just go what we did. We were just testing how the rover drives in and out. Obviously, the right wheels were not there and the surface was not really nice, But we had a lot of fun. And you can see, like, the drone can, the rover part of the drone, right? It can move in all direction. It can do the tank turn, as they call it. That was really exciting. And you can really move it in any corner, in any direction. That's just mobility. It's just fantastic, the flexibility it gives you, that architecture.
Yeah, it was exactly that kind of test case where we had a small opening and the drone with the wings unfolded wasn't fitting through it, but when you turn it 180 degrees, then it does fit. And so you showcasing the kind of versatility that we want to show for industrial environments where you enter into a warehouse, you don't have so much space and you have to have that mobility. And yeah, on the small scale, that also shows the versatility. For instance, in defense use cases, also if you want to move around on the ground, you need to make quick movements. We still have to go through that with the defense experts, but definitely the 360 is something that you don't see on any other drone.
Yeah, and the way, it was able to pivot, and it was able to move between obstacles, that's just fantastic. Obviously, in this POC, we couldn't really make the wings fold the way we actually going to in the real design, but for the first iteration, I mean, it shows absolutely what the capabilities are. So what do you think, Nadia? How did you saw the video? What's your
Well,
first impression?
first of all, I was extremely jealous that I was not there on the day. It's a fantastic experience. I'm sure Ahmad and Jacob, thank you for inviting us there to be on the field with you. I really like the fact that the drone can indeed move into any direction, and it looks like potentially it will be a very self-aware and environment-aware operation that involves a Grasshopper. Tell us more about the scale and also about the payload. That I was not sure if on this particular demo you had any payloads, and how did that go after we've seen on the video.
So the payload is not significant at all. It is not something that we can use for real pilot projects. We're talking maybe 100 grams, 200 grams, maybe a little bit more. But what we did do is work with our collaborators from True Cold, which is a company in our Logistics 4.0 incubator. And they have devices that can measure temperature. So our first use case for the heavy cargo drone is cold chain pharma. And so what we wanted to mimic is showcasing a real end-to-end scenario where we're starting to measure temperature indoors, driving outside, flying, landing, driving again indoors. And so you have the whole cold chain covered with the temperature data. And that is in fact what we did. So we had the little device inside of the cargo compartment, and True Cold started to measure exactly the location based on GPS and the temperature based on the device. And obviously it is not yet cold chain capable, but we're able to capture that data. And yeah, it is a very exciting time for us to be able to showcase that and to work already together with the right suppliers and do that. But in the end, we need a bigger proof of concept that has more capabilities to really then work with operators and start delivering any goods.
Yeah, I think that will be the more exciting part, where you can have a bigger drone, you can do more with it. But I think it still shows, like, that it can do a lot of these things. Like, we were trying while we were playing with it, on top of the boxes, how it can, drive on top, and you can pick it up and drop it, or things like that. That can, and things will iterate. Obviously, this is the design will iterate as we go forward. But I think what interesting conversation came out is how a Grasshopper and potentially organizations like OpenAM can collaborate with creating these opportunities for multiple different types of development and testing sort of prototypes that you can work on. But I think the next exciting part was when we got to the uphill, where we could actually fly and drive. So I think let's have a look at that footage first, and then let's talk about it. Yeah.
L'auto, tot correcte.
Quan te'l desarmi, armo jo, vale? Brutal, la precisió.
Okay, so that was really exciting. I know we ended up with a crash, but
I was gonna say, is exciting the right word? I mean, definitely
it was
nerve-wracking.
it was both, right? The excitement was engulfed into the nerve-wracking situation, but it was kind of I think it was a gust, and it was quite windy as well at that day. So I don't know what happened. You will have the air crash investigation, and you'll let us know. But we managed to drive it and fly it. It took off, and we managed to capture a lot of invaluable data. And I know that this is the very first flight test, and more thousands of more are coming. So it just demonstrate what this thing can do. And for me, that was really exciting.
I mean, to give a bit more background, right? So Barcelona Drone Center already had done an internal test, obviously,
Of
in order
course,
to ensure that it can fly, and they did also capture that on video. So we have the proof that in theory, under certain conditions, it can fly and convert into horizontal flight. What happened here is really that it took off vertically up to 30 meters, 40 meters, something like this. And then they didn't manage to do the transition while they transitioned. Then a wind gust picked it up and kind of brought it out of control. And it didn't manage to catch itself. So the pilot later on told us that what he should have done, what he realized later, is really go full throttle horizontal flight.
Yeah.
So you're not depending anymore on the rotors. They keep it in the vertical position. But he didn't do that, and so he ended up trying to manage.
It's also a matter of
the
experience, right? Because this is going to be the experience that they will get. Because transitioning from a vertical flight to the horizontal flight, that transition period is not that simple as well. So I can imagine, but it's all recoverable. It's all fixable. I think it will be fixed in no time, and then you will be flying again. But yeah, I think the more interesting thing is that not only that we managed to get to fly and crash, but from Friday to Monday, we were back in the field, and not just anything, right? You get to meet with the president of Spain. How did that happen?
Yes. in the end, we're in the Logistics 4.0 incubator, which is managed by the Zona Franca of Barcelona, so the industrial zone, and they are organizing the Barcelona New Economy Week every year. And as part of that, they're inviting high-ranking government officials, and this year it was indeed Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, and we were selected as one of 40 companies from the incubator and from the D Factory, which is the Industry 4.0 home of Barcelona, with the likes of Siemens, for instance, and Leitat, a 3D printer, and many other very innovative companies. And we got a prime spot for our drone, really in the center. And we prepared the videos of the render. We prepared a video of already the flight. And in the end, we were a little bit panicked when we saw the crash on Friday, because I said, oh no, we need to show this to Pedro Sanchez on Monday.
Yeah.
How are we going to do this? So we were very happy to see that the drone hadn't been destroyed entirely, and Barcelona Drone Center was really working all weekend in order to get it back into shape. And even then, they had a software issue with driving, and they managed to do that. So on Monday morning, I then went to the airport, where these guys were anyways flying to London for Drone X. So they brought our drone. We did a kind of, mafia handover. No, I'm kidding. I took over the drone at the airport and brought it to the incubator, and then in the afternoon to Barcelona New Economy Week. And we wanted to set it up for driving. In the end, the police dogs were already there. We didn't manage to set it up for the driving, just to really showcase it, but it was definitely enough. I mean, you were there, Ahmad. Maybe share your perspective as well.
Yeah. Let's play that video first quickly, and then let's talk about it. So here it goes.
Cuando descargamos el contenedor, hacemos un intercambio muy rápido de baterías y también de la carga. Y luego, además, estamos hablando con el Ministerio de la Defensa para casos de uso dual.
So I got there right on time, right? Obviously, I was late, but I got there right on time, and I know that there was not enough time, I think. Anyway, you see, it was just a quick interaction, and you get to explain to them about the drone. Did a very good job with Spanish, by the way. He did speak perfect English. That would have been easier for our viewers.
Didn't know. I should have known.
But the more exciting thing, and that everyone kept talking about, is you got the card, man. I mean, you got the card from the Prime Minister and the contact detail, and you get to give him your card as well. So that was really exciting. But yeah, I think it would have been great if you had more time, and it would be like you hand him over the controller and get to play with it.
If he had played with it like you did at Barcelona Drone Center, I mean, he would have bought 100 pieces immediately. I know it.
I know, man.
Turned around the business.
I can tell you, I was ready to buy that there and then right now. I mean, I did invest in the company, so at least I have bought some sliver of that.
100%. You had the right to play with it as it was factory new, right? No, but in the end, one of the things, right, that our viewers might be able to learn, it's not something new, but how did we get the card? In the end, we explained our solution. We had some sort of synergy, and then I asked if he could support us. And that is something where if you don't ask, you won't get it. So I kind of took that chance, and I even was prepared. I put the card to the side, and I thought, what is the likelihood that we can exchange contact details with the Prime Minister? Very low, but I had it ready to go already. And so I had that in the back of my head, that when there is a small window of opportunity, I'm going to ask. And yeah, it turned out to be the perfect opportunity. They asked for our contact details and then even gave us theirs. Now let's see what happens from that point.
That's fantastic, man. And I think it was such a buzz. Everyone was coming and congratulating you for the card thing as well. And yeah, you got the spot right in the middle. I mean, I don't know if it was planned or something, but there could not have been a better spot.
It couldn't have been a better spot.
But I think it's because they said, oh my God, this big thing with these big wings. Okay, let's give them some open space. But either way,
we
worked out.
Placed on the side. I mean, yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, I can't stop smiling. It was absolutely fantastic. But you have some other updates as well that you wanted to share with the podcast about some other meetings that you did?
Yeah, I mean, other meetings. Yeah, in the end, right, we are in a very crucial phase for the company as we are fundraising and we need a lot of capital to make a real functional autonomous flight drive vehicle. So something that is really suitable for pilot projects and not something that we just only show in some videos. And for that matter, we went to Sevilla, Al Andalus Innovation Venture, where all the big Spanish funds came. Only companies that were able to raise or that are raising at least 800K were allowed to be there. And so there we already established contact with very, very interested VCs and moving forward from that perspective. And it's part of our strategy that now toward the end of the year, we're reaching out to the right VCs in order to raise that funding. Not only that, but we've applied for the EIC Pathfinder, waiting for the resolution, which should come out in October, and another Spanish innovation grant, which should come out in November. So we're really on track to getting the company funded and to starting the prototyping project. And we're also still looking for angels until we're funded by VCs. Obviously, there is still a window of opportunity. And right now, it is very interesting for angels to come on board. We're also speaking with a lot of them at this stage still. Ideas are patents going to events such as the Dubai Air Show, for example, end of November. And yeah, who knows what's going to happen, but I'm very positive at these moments. We have a lot of momentum going for us, is essentially the message.
No, that's amazing. I mean, you can probably tell I can't stop smiling because I'm so excited about this thing in myself.
I just wanted to say congratulations once again. Going an extra mile once again proves that, you can do it. Everything is possible. And what you have achieved is very impressive. We had an episode, I think, end of last year or early this year. And we were talking about predictions. We were talking about how things will be developing in 2025. But now we have come to the stage when there was a demo flight. You are gathering data. You are at the stage when you're coming very close to launching Grasshopper on the mass scale. And just like the concept of grasshoppers, there's the last mile operations. You are taking the extra mile approach going forward. So we're very proud on the podcast to see the developments of Grasshopper, and we're very supportive of that.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to also partnering with you in Dubai Air Show. So we are definitely in some shape and form going. It will be fantastic to collaborate. So Jacob, now you said you are in this critical stage. I can only talk for myself that I have already invested my own money into the company, so I can vouch for it, or at least I'm very positive. So how can people reach you?
Ideally, if you're an angel investor and interested in investing into AAM and Grasshopper, you can contact us at investors@grasshopper.airmobility.com. And anyone else, media, for instance, or even logistics clients, so service providers, operators that want to develop cargo drones, because we're not just doing that one cargo drone. We're really working already on a global level with different stakeholders and companies on filling the gaps on the cargo drone market. And we can't speak about these projects yet until we have something to publish. But definitely we're very active in that drone development stage. So anyone that is interested in learning about this, working together with us as well, ideally go on our website, grasshopper.airmobility.com, and there for all the different stakeholders, we have a specific email address where you can reach us at.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for inviting us out to the drone center and including us into your journey. It was an absolutely exciting time. Nadia got to see secondhand, but next time hopefully we can bring her along.
Yes.
I'll see you in Dubai, yeah?
At least we'll see you in Dubai. So yeah, thank you very much, and please go check out Jacob's website, grasshopper.airmobility.com, and contact him if you are interested in anything more. And also thank you very much to all the subscribers of the Air Mobility Show and for the rest of the world. And we are working tirelessly on bringing more content about AI, air mobility, advanced aviation, and so on. And we will be going out in the field a bit more moving forward, because I think this is a very exciting format and get to see things firsthand. So yeah, thank you so much and see you next time.